Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for the second part of my Starcraft tutorial series. For now, it'll be branded as Starcraft for Fucks, but until I find a better name, it's staying. Anyways, this video will teach you about the most basic parts of macromanagement. I'll try to keep it as vague as possible and leave the specifics for a later date. Just to clarify the beginning of the previous video, this series is to go over the basics. I won't be talking about how to improve until a later date. For now, it's all about learning what the hell is going on in this game and having fun. Just as an advisory for players who are brand new and already know the basics, this will be one of the most important videos for you. Anyways, it's time for Segment 2, Macro Management. Macro stands for macromanagement. That means rather than managing individual smaller things, you're managing everything on a larger scale. When we talk about macro in StarCraft, we talk about managing your economy. Your economy includes not only getting minerals and gas, but spending those minerals and gas, and avoiding getting supply blocked. You can spend those resources on buildings, making more units, or getting upgrades. A major part of macro is decision making. What should you spend it on? That all boils down to the three key things I mentioned macro involved: spending on economy, technology, or army. Do you remember what I said last time about how mechanics is your ability to perform certain actions? This part is something you want to keep very much in mind as I go along in this video. Typically, you want to spend your resources or money as soon as you get it. There's a few situations in which you don't want to spend it right away, but I'll save that for a later date. Now, the three key parts of macro make up your general mechanics. We call them general mechanics because there's certain stuff that the Zerg can do in regards to macro. As I said before, there's economy, technology, and army. Econ or eco. Spending on economy refers to making an investment to increase the rate at which resources are gathered. But it also refers to either making a pylon, overlord, or supply depot. Supply is considered a resource, so we include this under economy. If you have more workers, then you gather resources at a higher rate. Makes sense, right? Now, you might be wondering, I have a ton of workers at this base. My minerals mined per minute isn't increasing anymore. Sometimes my workers aren't mining because they're waiting for another to stop. I can't support my unit production anymore because I'm not getting enough resources. Well, that's what expansions are for. What's an expansion? Well, around the map, or at least on standard maps, there are resources all over the map for you to mine from. If you make a new base there and put workers there, you get significantly more resources. If you have too many workers at a base, it becomes what we call oversaturated. These resources collected per worker decreases if you go over the optimal amount. We'll also go over key saturation another time. Tech. Spending on technology, or tech, means either constructing buildings to progress down the technology tree, or buying upgrades. Upgrades enhance your units, making them stronger or able to do more. They make your units stronger and much more versatile. The technology tree allows the construction of new types of buildings or units. Unlocking the tech tree allows you to build more powerful units, or get a better variety of units. Army. Spending on your army means the building of units and the production buildings to make those units. If your resources are rising more than they can be spent, then typically you want to have more production buildings. That way, you can make units at a faster rate. If you have more units, then you have more stuff to attack with. At the same time, if you have more units, you can choose to use that stuff to defend with. Also, more production buildings means you can spend all those resources you're not spending already. That's it for general mechanics. These are very key parts that you want to constantly improve to become a better player. Now, in terms of very specific mechanics, I said that the Zerg has some. They hatch their units from another type of unit called larvae. They're produced from hatcheries, and you can only have 3 at a given time at a single hatchery. One is produced every 20 in-game seconds as long as there's less than 3 at a hatchery. As a Zerg player, you want to try to spend these larvae as soon as they're created. Sometimes you want to save the larva for production purposes, but that ties into the waiting to spend resources topic I'll cover later. Also, when I get to Zerg guides, I'll very much be referring to larvae as a resource for the Zerg. When you get to actually playing the game, you'll want to have some kind of idea in your mind in regards to how you want to play. Since this is a guide about macro, I'll be talking about having a plan. Typically, a plan should include your goal. For example, one of your goals could be to get a certain type of unit, or it could be to execute some kind of rush. It all depends on the player, the matchup, and how you decide you want to play. Learning when and where to spend your resources is a fundamental part of StarCraft. You want to plan to be able to be quick about the decisions you make in regards to taking bases and making armies. A build order is an optimal way to reach your goals. A build order is pretty much a plan, but they're typically more specific and help you reach your goal as efficiently as possible. They won't teach you how to win every single game though. The idea is that they're a plan, not some ultimate weapon. You can find build orders online. There's guides as to how to read a build order, but I'll also cover that at a later date if you'd rather wait for that. If you'd rather learn how to read them now, then go ahead and take a look at them. As for macro, that pretty much covers all of it. There's one more minor thing about macro called production rounds, but that gets a little bit more specific. Not significantly though, but I'd rather leave it out for now. That's 4 topics I'll need to go over now. I just need to stop being lazy and keep making these videos. Anyways, I hope you guys got a lot out of watching the video and listening to this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.